The aftershocks of the skywide battle slowly dissipated, adding vibrant hues to the once pristine sky. "This brute is far stronger than I expected," Black-Faced Tiger cursed, dodging by his relentless attacks. Though both he and Scarwolf were formidable late 2-star Docian warriors, the elites of the City Lord's mansion they faced were no pushovers. By he alone, matching their strength as a late 2-star Docian, was enough to keep one of them occupied. The remaining dozens of fighters, though mostly early 2-star Docian or mid 1-star Docian, had the advantage in numbers, pushing Scarwolf back in a joint assault. "We can't go on like this, brother. If we do, we're bound to lose." The power of Docian, imbued with fire, burned brighter around Black-Faced Tiger as he cast a glance at Yuchen, who was still clutching his head in agony overhead. Yuchen appeared to have sustained severe injuries while battling Hun Ya, and had even absorbed the soul energy Hun Ya used in his attacks. Ever since, he had been acting strangely. His aura was transforming from human to that of a vicious beast, growing more violent and stronger over time. "Big brother." Scarwolf, encased in a massive wooden cage formed by his wood attribute Docian power to momentarily block the attacks, turned to Black-Faced Tiger. "Go all out. We have to break through." Black-Faced Tiger shouted, unleashing torrents of flames like meteors across the battlefield. He knew that if they fell into by his hands today, their fate would be nothing short of annihilation. "Finally willing to go all out, are you?" Bai smirked. While Bai harbored no personal ambition, he respected strength. But capturing Black-Faced Tiger, a man of nefarious deeds, would be his greatest satisfaction. "Bai, with your late 2-star Docian power, why serve Wang Feng? Join us instead. Riches and glory will be yours for the taking," Black-Faced Tiger proposed, fire flashing around him. Black-Faced Tiger knew Bai's strength wasn't as straightforward as it appeared. Though Bai had been low-key all these years, Black-Faced Tiger suspected he might even rival Wang Feng. "There's no point in talking. Fight," Bai replied calmly. "If you defeat me, I'll let you both leave. But if you lose, your Mad Demon Core stays here as your funeral procession." "Such a wager. Do you dare accept?" Bai's unhurried stance radiated composure. "Ha ha ha," Black-Faced Tiger laughed. "Bai, haven't you heard of my reputation? I accept." Both warriors shared the same unspoken goal. Bai understood that wiping out Black-Faced Tiger and Scarwolf could come at a high cost to his side, which he wanted to avoid. Likewise, Black-Faced Tiger knew he'd have to pay a price to escape, so he agreed to Bai's wager. "Looks like Bai's hidden depths," came Xiao Yan's voice from the shadows. "Even I can't quite gauge his full strength, though he's supposedly a late 2-star Docian." While Bai's power was indeed that of a late 2-star Docian, Xiao Yan's vast soul sense hinted at something even more terrifying beneath it. "If you're ready, let's begin," Black-Faced Tiger said, glancing at Bai. "With pleasure." Bai smiled faintly, unleashing an intense, silver aura. Silver light enveloped Bai, cloaking him in an ethereal and mysterious aura. "Spatial attribute?" Xiao Yan murmured as the silvery glow appeared. At the Docian level, Docian power gained distinct attributes. Each attribute had its unique strengths and weaknesses, with rarer types like spatial and summoning powers excelling in specialized combat. "Spatial against fire. Black-Faced Tiger has sealed his fate," the Devourer of Souls remarked. "What do you mean, Master?" Xiao Yan asked. Though fire-based abilities are of the destructive type, hitting the spatial type Bai would be quite challenging. If Black-Faced Tiger can't land a blow, he'll likely waste his power of Docian. Given the circumstances, his defeat is only a matter of time, the Devourer of Souls explained. "This spatial technique? It's more mysterious than I imagined," Xiao Yan murmured as he observed the battle unfolding in the sky. "Stop showing off. Take this. Fire Tiger Claw." Though Black-Faced Tiger recognized Bai's spatial abilities, he was already committed to this gamble, with no choice but to press on. Hoo. As his voice echoed, a massive, sinister tiger formed in front of him, engulfed in roaring red flames, burning brightly like the vibrant colors of dawn. "Tear him apart," Black-Faced Tiger ordered. Instantly, The energy tiger surged forward with its claws raised, aiming its fierce attack at Bai He. "Watch out, my lord!" shouted the city lord's warriors below, their eyes wide with worry. Though Black-Faced Tiger's fire tiger claw seemed straightforward, it had slain even late 2-star Docian opponents. Boom, boom, boom. The next moment, a breathtaking scene unfolded in the sky. The flaming tiger's powerful claws struck Bai He's robe, but instead of causing any impact, the space around Bai He suddenly rippled, and his figure vanished. The tiger's terrifying blow landed only on empty air, creating a crackling force that even shook the surrounding space. "This guy," Black-Faced Tiger muttered, frowning. Spatial techniques had always been elusive and mystical, rarely mastered, and few knew their secrets. Yet, he sensed a creeping dread. If he continued this way and exhausted his Do Chi, his defeat would be inevitable. "Today, I shall cleanse our ranks under the city lord's command. How does it feel to taste your own attack?" Bai He's voice echoed suddenly as the space in front of the flaming tiger rippled once more, unleashing a fire tiger claw that mirrored the tiger's previous attack, landing squarely on its body. How is this possible? Feeling the impact at such close range, Black-Faced Tiger's face darkened for the first time. It became painfully clear that Bai He's combat prowess might rival, or even surpass, Wang Feng's. Swoosh! Another identical strike emerged from the void, landing precisely on the tiger. Roar! 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 The fiery tiger, merely an energy construct born of Black-Faced Tiger's Docian power, let out agonized howls as it began to dissipate, on the verge of vanishing completely. Break! Bai He, aware of the tiger's potential danger, seized the opportunity. He raised his hand, summoning a wave of indescribable spatial power that engulfed the tiger in an instant. Bang, bang, bang. The fiery tiger, already destabilized by Bai He's counter, shattered in midair, dispersing like colorful clouds across the sky. "Your flaming tiger isn't nearly as fearsome as rumored," Bai He remarked coolly, his gaze sharp as he turned toward Black-Faced Tiger. "Bai He, don't get arrogant," Black-Faced Tiger roared, enraged. His flaming tiger had been a trump card, and Bai He had dismantled it effortlessly, revealing the gap between their abilities. "Show me your true strength, or my next strike will be your last." Bai He floated mid-air, silver light encircling him, embodying the image of a refined noble. Roar! 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 Just as Bai He finished speaking, a series of bestial roars echoed above him. What's going on? The warriors below looked up in shock. The sheer power of these roars stirred a faint sense of fear within their Do Chi. A soul entity? Xiao Yan's gaze shifted to the figure in the sky. There, he saw Yuchen enveloped in a red lightning aura, with the spectral form of the blood heaven demon ape coiling around him. What is going on? Bai He furrowed his brow as he saw the situation unfold. He didn't have time to deal with the Black-Faced Tiger and, in a flash, his figure collided directly with Yuchen. Could it be the work of Hun Ya from just now? Xiao Yan boldly speculated. It seems that the experts from the Ghost King realm indeed have an indescribable connection with the Soul Clan. Xiao Yan muttered, observing the scene. The attack from the Soul Lock just now, and even the overwhelming Soul Body assault now, were clear indicators of the relationship between the Soul Clan and the Ghost King realm. Ha ha ha. Yuchen, I didn't expect you'd meet your end today. Bai He, let's see how you choose. The Black-Faced Tiger laughed, seeing the murderous aura emanating from Yuchen as he approached. Yuchen had now completely transformed into a beast of slaughter, with no trace of humanity left. He had been backfired by the blood heaven demon ape's power, and, after absorbing such a vast amount of soul energy, his strength had soared to the level of a mid-3-star Docian. But this mid-3-star Docian was no ordinary one. Not only did he possess the power of a battle soul, but his soul body had nourished him, making him far stronger. If left unchecked, it seemed like everyone here would fall. Humph! Black-Faced Tiger, don't get too cocky. Everyone, hold them off for me. I'll deal with Yuchen, Bai He said, his voice commanding as silver space power flickered around him. Roar, roar, roar. In the sky, Yuchen, seeing Bai He attacking, showed no sign of defense, instead allowing Bai He's space power to strike his battle soul's phantom. Bang, bang, bang. Bai He's seemingly overwhelming strike landed directly on the blood heaven demon ape's phantom, but it had no effect. It felt as if Bai He had struck an impenetrable stone. Such tough defense. Bai He immediately pulled back, creating distance between himself and Yuchen, his mind racing to figure out how to deal with this. The power Bai He had just used was formidable, and with the addition of space power, it should have been effective against strong opponents. But upon hitting the blood heaven demon ape's phantom, the extraordinarily tough skin had sent a shock through Bai He. Roar, roar, roar. Seeing Bai He retreat, Yuchen was unwilling to back down, roaring like a soul beast in anger. He then raised his hand and swung it viciously toward Bai He's retreating figure. At that moment, a terrifying red lightning beam streaked through the air, heading straight for Bai He. This is bad. Bai He had just retreated and was at his weakest. There was no time to defend against the incoming attack. Boom, boom, boom. Bai He, a seasoned veteran, reacted instantly. Seeing that he couldn't dodge the red lightning, he enveloped himself with 10 layers of space power. Though he knew this defense wouldn't completely dispel the red lightning's power, it would at least weaken it somewhat. Heaven-shifting ruler. At this critical moment, Xiao Yan, hidden in the shadows, made his move. He drew the ancient ruler of heavenly flames from his back, unleashing the power of both the blue and yellow sacred flames, and dashed toward the red lightning beam. Boom, boom, boom. As the sacred, pure aura of the ancient ruler of heavenly flames met the red lightning beam, the red beam began to show signs of being devoured. Xiao Yan. Bai He's expression turned serious as he saw the situation unfolding. Get out of here. Xiao Yan shouted at Bai He while struggling against the red lightning beam. Understood. Bai He responded, swiftly moving and returning to the ground. The heaven-shifting ruler is still too strained, Xiao Yan thought. With my current strength, I can only deflect attacks from opponents one rank stronger than me. Anything beyond that could be dangerous for me. Boom, boom, boom. As Xiao Yan made his assessment, the space around him shifted, and a space teleportation array appeared. He stowed the ancient ruler of heavenly flames, not even looking back, and entered the array. To face the now backfired Yuchen with his battle soul against him would be nothing less than seeking death. The red lightning beam, now without Xiao Yan's interference, shot toward a small mountain behind the group, roaring through the air. Crack, crack. Zzz. The red lightning beam, full of destructive power, struck the small mountain and instantly unleashed a wave of thunderous energy, paralyzing the area before blasting the mountain to dust. Such power. Xiao Yan frowned as he watched the devastation unfold. Lord of the Lost City, if you don't come out now, I'm afraid everyone here will end up as sacrifices for this battle soul. Xiao Yan's voice echoed slowly, his gaze turning towards a certain spot in the sky. As his words fell, many of the experts present shifted their attention to him, and to their shock, they noticed something hidden within that seemingly empty void. Heh, quite the keen sense of soul perception for such a young lad. Following the gazes of the crowd, a patch of space about a dozen meters away from Yuchen began to ripple slightly. A robed man stepped out from the void with a calm stride. City Lord. The City Lord has returned. None of you are escaping now. Several experts below couldn't help but burst into laughter. Although Bai He's strength was formidable, Wang Feng's power was even greater. With Wang Feng's return, even Yuchen, let alone the entire Mad Demon Corps, would have no choice but to surrender. Didn't expect you to hide so well, Wang Feng said with a smile the moment he appeared, his gaze on Xiao Yan. However, Xiao Yan could tell that Wang Feng's courteous attitude stemmed from his earlier move to save Bai He. Just a stroke of luck? City Lord, it's best to subdue this fellow first. With the Battle Soul's backlash and the enhancement from the soul form, his power is only growing stronger. Dragging this out will not be to our advantage, Xiao Yan advised, his powerful soul perception faintly sensing that despite Wang Feng's appearance as a perfect two-star Dosien, he likely possessed a terrifying secret ability that even Xiao Yan was wary of. Exactly my thought. Bai He, let's join forces. This one isn't easy, Wang Feng remarked before his figure flickered, and he launched a sudden attack. Swish, swish. From by he and Wang Feng's bodies, two distinct auras, one silver and one green, burst forth. Wood attribute? Xiao Yan observed with interest. He had recently awakened the wood attribute within himself, but had refrained from training in it to avoid drawing attention. Now that Wang Feng wielded the wood attribute, Xiao Yan was eager to see its techniques. Bind, wooden vines. With a swift motion, Wang Feng descended, summoning dozens of massive vines from the void. The vines, each spanning tens of meters, instantly coiled around the spectral battle soul enveloping Yuchen. The vibrant green aura of the vines exuded an intense wood attribute, bringing a heavy pressure to the scene. Even the blood heaven demon ape, with its formidable thunder power, couldn't inflict any damage on them. Wood and earth attributes focus primarily on defense. The wood attribute specializes in binding and control, aiming to subdue the opponent through its restraining power, the Devourer of Souls explained. As for the earth attribute, it's widely known as the most resilient. Without sufficient destructive power, one might be worn down by an earth attribute user. Water attributes focus on healing, whereas fire and thunder are destruction-based. Xiao Yan couldn't help but mutter, marveling at the myriad variations of the power of Douxian. Heh, Lord Xiao Yan, you might not know this, said an elderly man below. The 5 basic attributes, metal, wood, water, fire, and earth, have branched into countless subtypes, like summoning, spatial, and dark attributes. But among all these, there is one universally acknowledged as the strongest in the Great Thousand World. The strongest? Xiao Yan asked, slightly puzzled. Healing, the elder replied plainly, but his expression turned solemn when he uttered the word. Healing? Xiao Yan repeated, surprised. He had vaguely heard of healing-type powers since arriving in the Do-Di continent, but it seemed this attribute was controlled by a powerful faction. Yes, healing, the undisputed strongest in the Great Thousand World, the Devourer of Souls said quietly. And those who wield the healing attribute belong to the Angel Clan. The Angel Clan? Xiao Yan echoed, perplexed. He vaguely remembered saving a member of the Angel Clan when he first arrived on the Do-Di continent. Group resurrection? Xiao Yan was even more shocked upon hearing this. Although Xiao Yan wasn't sure about the strength of the Archangel, anyone capable of fighting the extraterritorial evil clan must be in existence standing at the pinnacle of the Great Thousand World. Those beings are still far beyond your reach. You, at your current level, should not aim too high. Though the Angel Clan is formidable, your Xiao Clan is not far behind. The Devourer of Souls spoke slowly, but just as he was about to continue, he suddenly fell silent. I will uncover the secrets of the Xiao Clan one day, Xiao Yan said, a firm belief rising in his heart. Roar! The battle soul, trapped as it was, immediately felt the overwhelming binding force of the vine, unable to hold back a furious roar. If this vine continued to wrap around him, he might very well perish here today. Beast! With the blood of my king, I shall suppress. Without hesitation, Wang Feng raised his hand, and a scroll radiating black golden light slowly flickered into existence, a drop of black golden blood slowly flowing from it. The moment this black golden blood spilled out, the entire sky and all the surrounding forces seemed to freeze, as though they had encountered the most terrifying power in the world. Black golden blood is the true method of a powerful being from the ghost realm. For Wang Feng, who is only at the peak of 2-star Douxian, to possess such a drop, he must be connected to the higher-ups of the Lihuan domain. Just by looking at this black golden blood drop, it must have come from a 5-star Douxian. The power of the person he serves is not to be underestimated. Interesting, the Devourer of Souls muttered to himself. This blood, such terrifying power. Xiao Yan's gaze fixed on the black golden blood drop before him, a strong sense of unease spreading from the depths of his heart. Thud. In the next moment, all the nearby experts knelt on one knee towards the black golden blood drop. Not good, my body. I can't control it. Xiao Yan felt his knee weaken, as though he was about to kneel. Swish. At that critical moment, a faint power emanated from the black mark around the Xiao clan's clan symbol on his forehead, dispersing the overwhelming pressure of the black golden blood drop. The protective force around the clan symbol was none other than what outsiders referred to as the 10 Kings of Hell. However, Xiao Yan could not feel any power and did not know the secret behind it, but one thing was certain. There was an immensely powerful force hidden within the black mark. Who exactly is this young man? The blood of my king doesn't even pressure him. Could he be from the Holy Family? Wang Feng couldn't help but feel astonished. Lord, the battle soul can't hold out much longer. Baihe's voice suddenly rang out. The battle soul is backfiring on Yuchen. They are both beyond saving now. Let them be destroyed together. A hint of reluctance flashed in Wang Feng's eyes. The blood heaven demon ape was of great value, but he could only regretfully erase it now. With the blood of my king, be destroyed. Wang Feng declared, and the black golden blood drop rose gently from his hand, heading towards the blood heaven demon ape. Chirp, chirp, chirp. The blood heaven demon ape had already devoured all of Yuchen's power and consciousness. Even with his strength at 3-star Dosien, he began to feel the fluctuations of death in the face of the black golden blood. Boom, boom, boom. Below, the black-faced tiger and Scar Wolf's faces darkened as they realized that Yuchen had been completely destroyed by Wang Feng. Next, it's your turn. After easily erasing Yuchen, Wang Feng turned to the 2 leaders of the Mad Demon Corps, his black golden blood returning to his hand. Lord, we know we were wrong. We will never dare again. Please spare us. The black-faced tiger and Scar Wolf, who had previously maintained calm composure, now trembled with fear. Their faces drained of color as they knelt. The 2 of them were at the peak of 2-star Dosien, yet they had been instantly killed by Wang Feng's black golden blood, not even able to withstand a single round. Fear gripped their hearts. It's too late to beg now. Wang Feng was no indecisive person. The black golden blood surged out again and shot towards the 2 mercenaries. Run! The black-faced tiger and Scar Wolf desperately tried to flee, fearing for their lives. Glug, glug. Before they could even cover 10 meters, the black golden blood silently caught up with them. Thud. After effortlessly defeating both Yuchen and the leaders of the Mad Demon Corps, Wang Feng suddenly spat out a mouthful of bright red blood, clearly suffering severe internal injuries from using that black gold blood. Leave no one from the Baihe, Mad Demon Corps or Yu clan, Wang Feng ordered, his tone fading into weakness as he spoke. Baihe, Mad Demon Corps, and the Yu clan. Erase them all. Blah blah blah. Wang Feng taunted, his energy beginning to drain. My lord, Lord Xiao Yan, you can return. We'll take care of the rest, Baihe said with a grin. All right. Xiao Yan and Wang Feng exchanged a look, then paired up and headed back to Ghost King City. In a few days, the person in charge of this mission will arrive. I'll let you know then. After a silent journey, just as they reached Ghost King City, Wang Feng spoke up. Here are some healing pills. Without hesitation, Xiao Yan handed over some high-quality pills before turning toward his inn. That guy, Wang Feng muttered, not standing on ceremony as he took the pills and headed back to his own quarters, needing time to adjust his energy lest hidden injuries linger. Meanwhile, with Yuchen's plans dismantled, Baihe and his allies quietly uprooted the Mad Demon Corps and Yu clan entirely. The Yu clan's ambition was boundless. Their downfall is only natural, someone commented. It's a pity about that undying leaf, though. Standing in the Qing clan's great hall, Qing Ming sighed. Father, about Xiao Yan. Qing Wanshu interjected, clearly with newfound admiration since learning Xiao Yan was a 3rd-rank imperial-class alchemist. A golden dragon does not stay in shallow waters, Qing Ming said, shaking his head. Xiao Yan had already reached such heights at a young age, proving his extraordinary background and talent. Xiao Yan has taken on that mission, so it seems he won't join us this time. Pack your things, you and Qinger should go and gain some experience as well. The Eastern Continent competition will be an excellent stage for you. Once the competition concludes, you will naturally take on the role of clan head, and Qinger's marriage will be settled according to her own wishes. Qing Ming declared.
Yes.
Qing Wanshu replied, overjoyed. He had dedicated himself to cultivation precisely to escape an arranged marriage, and now it seemed his father's respect for Qing'er's efforts had secured her independence. With those words, Qing Wanshu knew that Qing'er's goal was finally within reach. In the inn, huff, huff. The undying leaf, the sealed dose skill, materials for the first phase of Dragon God transformation. Everything is ready except for the right timing. Finding the undying leaf can wait. After I consume a battle soul, I should be able to sense the undying leaf's location in the ghost realm. As for the Dragon God transformation, it's not something to be rushed. It'll need to be done in secret, away from here. For now, I'll focus on mastering the sealed dose skill. This will allow me to handle opponents stronger than myself, a top priority. Xiao Yan sat quietly on the bed, deep in thought. Sealed dose skill. After his contemplation, Xiao Yan wasted no time. With a flick of his wrist, he brought forth the scroll he had taken from the Hammer Mercenary Group's young leader. As soon as the sealed dose skill appeared, brilliant red light flooded the room, though Xiao Yan's soul barrier kept it from alerting anyone outside. What a bloody aura! No wonder it's the soul-devouring blood monument, Xiao Yan murmured, gripping the sealed dose skill with a faint smile. This technique held limitless potential, as it could grow stronger alongside the user's own power. Let's see what's inside. He didn't hesitate any further. Though he had various offensive techniques, he lacked a special skill like the sealed dose skill. Boom! The moment his soul energy touched the red light on the scroll, the bloodthirsty glow seemed to devour his soul force. What's happening? Startled as his soul energy was absorbed, Xiao Yan was momentarily at a loss. The soul-devouring blood monument has a natural restraint against soul energy. Trying to probe its secrets this way is courting death, came the disdainful voice of the devourer of souls. Xiao Yan sighed, feeling a little sheepish about his impatience. To handle this, use hardness to overcome softness. The devourer of souls continued. Hardness to overcome softness? Xiao Yan whispered, considering the advice. The sacred flame? Then he understood the devourer's suggestion. Well done. Since that's the case, let me see just how powerful your sealed dose skill really is. Xiao Yan said, as the greenish-yellow flames enveloping him surged forward, clashing with the crimson light before him. This time, as Xiao Yan unleashed the sacred flame, radiating a pure and holy energy, the blood-red glow on the scroll instantly receded. In a brief moment, the red light was completely extinguished by the power of Xiao Yan's sacred flame, leaving only an ordinary-looking scroll in its place. Soul-devouring blood monument. The monument has 3 levels. The first seals malevolent spirits, the second subdues heroes, and the third suppresses blood spirits. Devouring with soul, subduing with blood. Thus is the soul-devouring blood monument. These 3 bold lines stood prominently on the scroll, and at first glance, Xiao Yan felt as if he were listening to the serene chanting of a temple monk, his mind calming. A flood of information poured into his mind, clearly outlining the cultivation method for this sealed dose skill. This young man has a steady heart. He should be able to master the first level within a few days. Watching Xiao Yan study the sealed dose skill intently, the devourer of souls couldn't help but smile. The first level of the soul-devouring blood monument will be enough to handle a late 1-star dose yen. As for the second and third levels, there's no rush. He paused, pondering, but I'm curious where Feng got that black gold blood. Which powerful figure could it have come from? He drifted back to his thoughts about Feng. Just a single drop of that black gold blood held the terrifying power to kill even a 3-star dose yen, a feat not achievable by just any powerful figure. Soul Heaven is one of the largest territories under the fierce soul domain. My upcoming trip to the eastern continent will probably bring me face to face with some familiar faces. Looks like it's time to set my plans into motion. With that, the soul-devouring talisman and the blood river bell in his hands emitted a chilling light, pulsing ominously. 10 days passed in the blink of an eye. During this time, Xiao Yan led a secluded life. Other than basic meals, he locked himself in his room, diligently practicing the sealed dose skill. Despite its difficulty, His hard work and the Devourer of Souls' subtle guidance paid off. In 10 days, he successfully mastered the first level of the Soul-Devouring Blood Monument. With the first level of the Soul-Devouring Blood Monument now in his grasp, coupled with his other Do skills, Xiao Yan felt confident that he could hold his own against the late 1-star Do Xian. The Soul-Devouring Blood Monument consists of 3 levels, each corresponding to a different level of strength. The first level allows Xiao Yan to seal an opponent 2 levels stronger than himself. For instance, as an early 1-star Do Xian, he can seal a late 1-star Do Xian with the first level. The second level would let him seal an opponent 3 levels higher, making it possible to seal a perfect 1-star Do Xian. And if he masters the third level, he'll be able to transcend ranks and seal an early 2-star Do Xian. This is the terrifying power of a sealed Do skill. However, such strength comes with limitations. While ordinary opponents pose no issues, sealing foes with deep foundations might not succeed easily, and even if it does, the effect may only last for a few minutes, or even seconds, depending on the opponent's strength. Still, Xiao Yan felt quite satisfied with this sealed Do skill. "Sir, City Lord Wang Feng has a message for you." As Xiao Yan rose and made his way to the inn's entrance, the innkeeper quickly approached him with a smile. Though the innkeeper was only at the Do D level, his status in Ghost King City was far from low. Yet he treated Xiao Yan with great respect, undoubtedly due to Wang Feng's instructions, given that Xiao Yan was a distinguished guest of Ghost King City. "What did he say?" Xiao Yan asked with a slight smile. The innkeeper, who had taken good care of him, appeared endearing. "City Lord Wang Feng came here 3 days ago, but as you were in seclusion, he did not wish to disturb you. He left word that once you awoke, you should visit the City Lord's mansion. Apparently, there's something he wishes to discuss with you," the innkeeper replied with a smile. "Understood." Xiao Yan nodded lightly and set off for the City Lord's mansion. It was likely that the influential figures behind the auction of the Earth Dragon Blood Crystal had arrived. Xiao Yan was intrigued. These people had managed to acquire such a precious item, and winning the Earth Dragon Blood Crystal required agreeing to one of their conditions. Plus, with a journey from Ghost King City to the Eastern Continent ahead, traveling alone risked exposing his identity. Having these people as travel companions would be ideal. City Lord's mansion. We're in a hurry, and yet he takes advantage of such an important moment to go into closed-door meditation? If he stays locked away for too long, are we just supposed to wait for him? In the living room of the City Lord's mansion, 4 figures stood slowly. Among them were Wang Feng and Bai He. However, facing them was a woman with a lovely face, her expression puffed up with indignation as she spoke, her words brimming with contempt for Xiao Yan. "Little Yi, show some respect. Our trip to the Eastern Continent is to escort you all, but we also have our own goals. Therefore, we must wait for this alchemist," said a man with a smile, though his tone still carried a hint of affection. It was clear that this man shared a special relationship with the young woman. "Uncle, what if this guy goes into closed-door meditation for years on end? Are we supposed to wait all that time?" The woman's brows furrowed, clearly dissatisfied. Little Yi, according to Lao Feng, that alchemist is about your age. For someone of such a young age to reach 3rd-rank imperial class in alchemy, his background is likely not weaker than ours. So, these words are fine in private, but don't let them reach his ears. After all, what we need this time, without the sole power of a 3rd-rank imperial alchemist to back it, we'd be courting death, the man said, his expression growing serious as he spoke of that thing. At the mention of that thing, fear flickered on the man's face. "Got it. No need to be so fierce." The woman made a face at him before swiftly running off. "That girl." Looking at little Yi leaving, Wang Feng couldn't help but laugh. "She's been pampered since she was young. Who knows if it's a blessing or a curse?" The man sighed helplessly. "Brother Yu, it's been years, but your strength seems to have—" Just then, after little Yi had left, Wang Feng noticed that the man's strength seemed even more formidable than before. The man was named Feng, the vanguard of his family. As the vanguard, he was tasked with eliminating enemies and seeking medicinal ingredients for their family. His strength had already reached the level of a 2-star Do Xian years ago, and now, it had grown even more powerful. In our line of work, we're constantly on the edge of life and death. So, it's only natural that we level up faster, Feng said with a grin. Brother Yu, what about the rest of your group? Feng asked. Feng's squad was powerful, with most of them being 2-star Docian, and Feng himself was a genuine 3-star Docian. This made their vanguard group formidable. We split up when we entered Ghost King City to avoid attracting attention. They've already settled in your mansion. We just need to wait for that alchemist to finish his meditation, and then we can set out, Feng said with a smile. Then we'll wait, I suppose, Feng said, continuing to chat with him as the three of them spoke and laughed in the living room. Humph. I still don't believe it. How strong can a mere third-rank Imperial-class alchemist be? As soon as Little Yi left the City Lord's mansion, she began walking around. But it must be said that Little Yi was a sight to behold. Her figure was lithe and graceful, her skin flawless and snow-white. As she walked through the crowded streets of Ghost King City, she naturally caught the attention of many passers-by. Humph. What are you looking at? Little Yi immediately noticed the unfriendly gazes from some of the onlookers and scornfully muttered, but she was so preoccupied with the prying eyes of the people around her that she didn't notice the figure walking straight toward her. Watch where you're going. Before she could react, she bumped directly into a man's chest, causing her to scold him in a flustered tone. Little Yi looked up, only to be stunned by the man standing before her. The man had deep, dark eyes and carried a massive heavy ruler on his back, giving off a heavy, oppressive aura. But what truly caught Little Yi off guard was the strange and unsettling aura surrounding him, one that made her feel inexplicably uneasy. Be careful. Seeing her slam into his chest and then scold him, Xiao Yan couldn't help but raise his voice slightly. You. Little Yi had been distracted by the lecherous gazes of the onlookers and hadn't noticed Xiao Yan until it was too late. Though she knew she was in the wrong, she couldn't help but feel upset at his scolding. She was Little Yi of the Yu clan, a proper young lady. How could she be reprimanded like this by a stranger? Move aside. However, Xiao Yan was still a bit surprised, as Yu Xiaoya's strength had reached the late 1-star Docian level, and he could vaguely sense a powerful energy emanating from her. Just you wait. Yu Xiaoya's face flushed bright red after Xiao Yan's remark, and it took her a moment to finally spit out her response. Soon, Xiao Yan bypassed Yu Xiaoya and headed directly toward the City Lord's mansion. That guy's heading to the City Lord's mansion. Interesting. A sly smile spread across Yu Xiaoya's face as she seemed to find a new way to tease Xiao Yan. She quickly disappeared into the crowd and followed him to the mansion as well. Why is she following me? Xiao Yan, with his powerful soul senses, easily noticed that Yu Xiaoya was trailing him and muttered to himself in mild annoyance. This girl's aura doesn't seem like she's from Ghost King City. The Devourer of Souls spoke up suddenly. Oh, not from Ghost King City? She looks around my age, yet her strength has reached the late 1-star Docian. Could she be? Xiao Yan nodded subtly, as if a realization had dawned on him. In just a few minutes, Xiao Yan arrived at the main gate of the City Lord's mansion. Over the grand entrance hung a plaque with the golden characters for City Lord's Mansion, shining brightly, while groups of patrolling guards went in and out. Lord Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan's presence was immediately recognized by the staff at the mansion's entrance, and a guard stepped forward with a welcoming smile. Steward Mu, is the City Lord here? Xiao Yan asked with a smile upon seeing that it was Steward Mu. In the City Lord's mansion, Steward Mu held a high position, second only to Bai He and Li Qin, managing many affairs within the mansion. He, the City Lord is currently in his study. He's been expecting you for some time. Steward Mu chuckled as he replied. Then I'll trouble you to lead the way. Xiao Yan returned the smile. An honor. Steward Mu began to move forward, but just as he took his first step, a sharp female voice interrupted. Steward Mu, this man tried to take advantage of me. Seize him for me. A figure leapt out from behind, her face puffed with indignation, and she shouted at Steward Mu. This? The smile on Steward Mu's face instantly vanished. The woman speaking was from a powerful faction, and Xiao Yan, despite his youth, had already reached the level of a third-rank Imperial-class alchemist. No one would believe he lacked strong backing. So dealing with the two of them left Steward Mu in a difficult position. What's wrong, Steward Mu? Are my words meaningless to you now? Seeing Steward Mu hesitate, Xiao Yan spoke again, her tone edged with impatience. It's all right, Steward Mu. I'll go in myself. Xiao Yan shot a glance at Xiao Yan, shook his head slightly, and said to Steward Mu before walking straight into the mansion toward the study. Haha, I'll accompany you, my lord. After a brief moment of consideration, Steward Mu ultimately decided to side with Xiao Yan. Just the status of a third-rank Imperial-class alchemist was enough to inspire awe. Arg! How dare he? Just a lowly steward, yet he dares to ignore me. I'll have Uncle Wang Feng get him fired for this. Xiao Yan, frustrated by her failures that day, stomped and muttered angrily. Steward Mu, who exactly was that arrogant girl? Xiao Yan chuckled as they walked away. That young lady is from the Yu clan and is part of the team assigned to escort you to the eastern continent. According to the city lord, their duty is to ensure your safe passage to the eastern continent. In return, you're only required to assist them with some matters involving soul power along the way. Steward Mu explained with a smile. The Yu clan, huh? Xiao Yan murmured thoughtfully. The Yu clan is well known across the eastern continent. You can certainly trust both their capabilities and loyalty, my lord. Steward Mu reassured him. All right. Xiao Yan nodded lightly. My lord, the city lord is just up ahead. I have other matters to attend to, so I'll take my leave here. Shortly after, Steward Mu guided Xiao Yan to the door of the study and then departed. Knock knock. A clear knock echoed as Xiao Yan gently tapped on the door. Enter. A calm voice responded from inside. It seems the city lord is in high spirits. Xiao Yan commented as he stepped into the study, where Wang Feng sat, carefully examining an ancient, yellowed parchment scroll. Xiao Yan, you're out of seclusion? Wang Feng looked up, delighted to see Xiao Yan, even setting the scroll aside in his excitement. I was adjusting my internal chi flow the other day and ended up in seclusion a bit longer than expected. My apologies, city lord, Xiao Yan began, intending to explain, but Wang Feng interrupted him. No need, no need. They're pressed for time. If nothing unexpected happens, they'll set off this afternoon, Wang Feng said, leading Xiao Yan directly to Yu Feng's residence. Second uncle. Xiao Yan, having faced setbacks all day, couldn't resist pouring out his frustrations to his second uncle as soon as he got back. Xiao Yan, what's the matter? Why so down? Did someone bully you? Yu Feng asked with a smile as he sat in the pavilion in the courtyard. I just went out and ran into some clueless guy. Although I was the one who bumped into him, he ignored me completely, didn't even bother to distinguish right from wrong, and just brushed me off. Xiao Yan fumed, words tangled in frustration. Heh, this isn't the Yu clan's estate, Yu Feng chuckled, lifting his teacup. Third brother asked me to bring you out here partly to temper that headstrong attitude of yours. Now that someone's done it for me, I owe him my thanks. Second uncle. That guy's so arrogant, and he even seems to be on good terms with Steward Mu. Xiao Yan was ready to launch into a tirade, but Yu Feng cut him off. I recall Wang Feng mentioned that the one responsible for liaising with the alchemist this time is indeed that very Steward Mu. Could it be? Yu Feng suddenly had a realization and gasped. Heh, Lord Xiao Yan. Here we are. They're just up ahead. In the next moment, Wang Feng led Xiao Yan as they slowly appeared at the entrance to the courtyard. No way. How could that guy possibly be a third-rank Imperial-class alchemist? Xiao Yan's expression turned utterly peculiar at the sight of Xiao Yan.